Football's ultimate defender, making Messi run scared. Like, share and subscribe. Episode 81. Winning the championship. Chen Mo is popular in Europe, and the big dog owner offers a salary of 100 million yuan a year. A last-minute goal. A last-minute goal. It was extremely gorgeous and violent, and full of incredible spinning kicks. The last-minute goal was already a miracle. The total score was 7-6. Liverpool scored 7 goals away from home. If Manchester City wants to advance, they must score 2 goals in the last minute to overtake the big score. Because they have few away goals, they will be eliminated directly if they draw. 2 goals. The game has less than 4 minutes left, including the extra time. It's impossible. The moment of the last-minute goal. Countless Liverpool fans around the world who watched the game cheered wildly. For example, a certain university. There was a burst of cheers, roars, and screams from the boys' dormitory building. Chen Mo is awesome. The dormitory auntie was so scared that she sat up in her dream. For example, outside the Etihad Stadium at this moment. The Liverpool fans who followed the team bus looked at the last-minute goal on the big screen outside the stadium and instantly cheered. In the end, there was a scene that shocked the reporters. Those Liverpool fans, whether they were standing on the roof of the car or standing in the square, they all knelt on one knee and put their right hands on their chests. They shouted in unison to the big screen showing Chen Mo's celebration. Greetings to His Majesty the King. The shocked female reporter lost her voice and the microphone in her hand slipped. The shocked photographer dropped the camera on the ground without holding it firmly. The scene at this moment was extremely spectacular. Even Manchester City fans were stunned by the shock. There were also Liverpool bars. Fans who watched the game together madly splashed the drinks in their hands. In the bar, under the leadership of the pub owner, they jumped onto the bar and the wine table, cheering and howling wildly. The excitement spread to everyone. Some fans cheered and hugged each other, and the tears of joy in the corners of their eyes could not stop gushing. Some fans even held the bottle tightly, knelt on the ground, and cried loudly. There were also some rich second-generation fans watching the game in the bar. At the moment of the final kill, the excitement could not be released. He rushed to the DJ booth violently, grabbed the DJ's microphone, and yelled at the audience. Long live Liverpool! Long live His Majesty the King! To celebrate our great miracle, everyone will drink as much as they want tonight. I'll treat you. I'll treat you. 11-inch. On the field. Everyone rushed to Chen Mo. And Chen Mo had already rushed to the sidelines, and once again made the familiar celebration gesture of dominating the world for the fans. The crazy prompt sound of the system also rang in his mind. The negative emotion value was hit. Liverpool fans shouted in unison, raised their hands high, and made a gesture of worship to Chen Mo. The first teammate who rushed to Chen Mo's side was Van Dijk. This guy ran all over the field and rushed to Chen Mo's side. He hugged Chen Mo's thigh and lifted Chen Mo up. Chen Mo was scared and shrugged. But a more shocking scene happened. The other teammates did not rush up to celebrate. Each of them was very excited. Facing Chen Mo, he made the same worship gesture as the fans. If Firmino's goal just now made him a hero of Liverpool, then Chen Mo's spinning kick just now was the winning goal. He was crowned the king right on the spot. At this moment, all Liverpool players recognized him from the bottom of their hearts. Chen Mo. He is the king of Anfield. The king of Liverpool. The players on the bench rushed out of the bench and joined Chen Mo in worshipping Chen Mo. Klopp also ran wildly on the sidelines excitedly. He punched hard. It was as if he was hammering the Etihad Stadium with his farmer's 3 punches. On the other hand, Manchester City. The players on the field seemed to have their spines broken, and their waists were bent in an instant. Ederson couldn't control his emotions, and he vented his anger with a shot at the football in the goal. But the tears couldn't stop flowing down. The real despair is never just losing a game, but the victory has been embraced. But at the last moment, it was snatched away by the opponent's zone wolf. Gained and lost. This is the real human tragedy. In the Etihad stands, applause for the national star began to be heard. Then the applause became more and more. Finally, it spread to the whole stadium. Warm applause was given to Chen Mo. Suddenly, a Manchester City fan shouted, "By Mo!" Then the shouting became more and more, and louder and louder. Finally, the fans in the stands of the entire Etihad Stadium were yelling at the club executives and CEO in the VIP stands. By Mo! By Mo! By Mo! Manchester City CEO Mubarak listened to the voices of the fans, his eyes fixed on Chen Mo. The red number 10 seemed to be engraved in his mind. Everything was so real. Buy it at this time. His hand suddenly rang. His own boss. His Royal Highness the Desert Prince, the actual owner of the club, called. Your Highness. Mubarak did not dare to neglect, and quickly answered the phone, respectfully listening to the other party's orders. I watched the game. Although we lost and were reversed, it was very exciting. Don't blame the players and the head coach, they all performed very well. First affirmed the coach and the players. Then he got to the point. Liverpool's number 10. I like him. I hope he can wear a blue jersey. The big boss likes it. Just this sentence is enough. Money? The boss never cares about money. As long as he likes it and can buy it with money, it is not a problem. Understood. Mubarak agreed immediately. I will contact Liverpool club immediately and try my best to facilitate the transfer after the season ends. Before he finished speaking, the boss's voice came over. Don't argue with Liverpool club. Doesn't he have a termination fee? Talk to his agent. We will give the best treatment, the lowest level treatment. As long as he agrees to transfer, we will pay the termination fee directly at the end of the season. Money is the least important. Don't waste time because of money, be efficient. Mubarak agreed repeatedly. At the same time, Bari Nasser, CEO of Paris Saint-Germain, also received a call from his boss while watching the live broadcast of the game. The king of another desert country. I just watched the game with the Queen Mother. She is a fan of Liverpool's Chen Mo. Chen Mo's performance is simply outstanding. He beat Manchester City. The Queen Mother really hopes that he can join our club, and even more hopes that he can be the propaganda master when our country hosts the World Cup. Nasser also listened respectfully. Especially when he heard that the Queen Mother liked Chen Mo. He knew that he had to act quickly. His own Queen Mother was the Wu Zetian of the desert. A real boss who ruled behind the curtain. I'll make an offer right away. But Paris Saint-Germain is in League One, so its appeal is indeed a little lower. The money is not bad. But League One has too little influence and is not attractive to players. I don't need to listen to these excuses. It's not attractive. Then use money to solve the problem. Give him the best treatment in the world, an annual salary of 100 million euros is fine. Go and trigger his termination clause, just like we bought Neymar, the miracle of Camp Nou. You can give him a position in the team. Give him power and build the team according to his opinions. The most important thing is to buy him. He created a miracle by stepping on Manchester City, and he deserves everything for this. The boss of his own family and the boss of Manchester City are not on good terms. The two desert countries are mortal enemies. If they can buy the hero who killed them and give them a hard eye drop, a few $100 million is nothing. It's worth spending billions. Half an hour later, Liverpool left Etihad with victory. They returned to Liverpool, surrounded by fans. The moment they entered Liverpool, the long streets were filled with fans welcoming the team back. They held fireworks in their hands and released red fireworks. They lit up a red road. Even though the players were tired, they ran off the bus and joined the fans' celebration. This road was like a parade for Liverpool's championship. Finally, outside the Melwood training base, the players gave a speech. As soon as Chen Mo picked up the microphone, there was an earthquake-like cheer. It lasted for a long time before it became quiet, giving Chen Mo a chance to speak. Do you want the Champions League trophy? He asked all the fans loudly. In an instant, tens of thousands of Liverpool fans shouted in unison, yes. No problem. After the season, I will bring you the Big Air Cup. In an instant, the sky collapsed again. Klopp took the microphone and said with a smile, Mo said. He will bring you the Big Air Cup. As the head coach, I agree with his promise. Now I declare. Liverpool's goal this season is the Champions League. Next season, we want the Premier League. Get back the league championship we lost for 20 years. The atmosphere on the scene became more heated. The league championship trophy. That is the eternal grudge in the hearts of Liverpool fans. As one of the oldest and most brilliant and successful clubs in England. But they don't have a Premier League championship trophy. Since the transformation of the English League One to the Premier League, they have never been able to touch that trophy. Even for some Liverpool fans. Compared to the Champions League's Big Air Cup, they would want the Premier League championship trophy more. Celebrate until late at night. The club came out to persuade the still excited fans to let the players go home. Klopp generously gave the players a day off to rest. Back to his villa. Kendall, who had been waiting for him to go home, gave him a hug and a kiss. Then I went to help him run the bath water. Lying in the bathtub, Chen Mo opened the lottery and started to draw. Negative emotion value, 36,900 points. It's another harvest season. Spend 35,000 points to draw 7 times. The familiar big turntable, constantly spinning and stopping. 7 treasure chests came to mind. Congratulations to the host for winning bronze treasure chests times 4, silver treasure chest times 1, platinum treasure chest times 1, and legendary treasure chest times 1. May I ask if the host will open it immediately? Open. Chen Mo was excited when he saw that he had drawn a legendary treasure chest again, and quickly gave the system an order. Open 4 bronze treasure chests, get 3 player health packages, 1 immunity card. Open 1 silver treasure chest, get 1 wind-chasing running shoe. After wearing, it can add 5% speed to the host's own speed. Open 1 silver treasure chest, get the permanent skill, 100 Flowers Dazzling. 100 Flowers Dazzling, shooting skill. After using it, you can kick out a wave ball, making it impossible for the goalkeeper to determine the exact position of the football, and can be used for any shooting method. Open 1 legendary treasure chest and get a flash of inspiration. A flash of inspiration, after triggering, you can randomly copy the superb performance of top stars. Get rich. Chen Mo suddenly got up from the bathtub. I was in a good mood. I left the bathroom decisively, picked up Kendall, and gave her a set of crazy 6 hours. Etihad miracle. UEFA Champions League quarterfinals second round, Liverpool defeated Manchester City in adversity to advance. Reproduce Istanbul miracle. Heavy artillery. Free kick. Shocking hook. Passing 6 people in a row. Roundhouse kick. Chen Mo conquered Etihad alone. Guardiola said after the game that God did not favor Manchester City because God was playing for Liverpool. Crazy Chen Mo. Crazy red arrows. One game, played 200 million worth. 200 million euros in release clauses, can't stop the wealthy clubs waving money. Championship declaration. Chen Mo promised the fans that he would bring them the Big Air Cup. Klopp announced that the goal this season is to win the Champions League. Win the Premier League next season. Barcelona's most wrong decision. They forced a king to terminate the contract. As the biggest contributor to the reversal of Manchester City, Chen Mo is popular all over Europe. Almost all fans of major European clubs know that Liverpool has an omnipotent number 10 player. Everyone knows this new heartthrob. Barcelona was dragged out to be whipped again. Fans blocked the entrance of Gamber City with banners. They demanded that the club must welcome Chen Mo back and that the club must immediately deal with the ban on Dembele. There are even some more extreme Barcelona fans who directly demanded Messi to give the number 10 jersey to Chen Mo. In order to appease the fans, Barcelona's top management did take action as soon as possible. They contacted Liverpool and had a conversation about Chen Mo's return to Barcelona in the summer window. The result was 2 words from Edwards. Get out. But he scolded Barcelona away. Other clubs were not quiet. Especially Manchester City, which had just been reversed and trampled underfoot. They also contacted Liverpool. But there was no negotiation, and no more words were said about Chen Mo's transfer in the summer window. They just sent a fax. They triggered Chen Mo's termination fee. So they can directly contact Chen Mo's agent Mendes without going through the club. Paris Saint-Germain is the same as Manchester City. They also only sent a fax to activate Chen Mo's termination fee. In other words, now Liverpool can't stop them from contacting Chen Mo, let alone stop Chen Mo from reaching an agreement with them. Once an agreement is reached, then they just need to wait for the summer window, and the other club will directly transfer the money to the account, and the rest has nothing to do with Liverpool. Edwards, the angry sports director of Liverpool, cursed in the office. This group of dog-rich people from the desert is simply insulting football with money. Too much. 200 million euros. They don't even blink, and they are going to trigger it directly. Too much bullying. After a lot of cursing, he was helpless. Who let him have money, and he didn't put the money away? He could only drive to Chen Mo's villa in a hurry, ready to talk to Chen Mo in person. As a result, as soon as he entered the villa, he heard the excited voice of Mendes in the living room. Mo. The big dogs have all made a move. Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain have sent faxes to Liverpool to trigger the buyout clause. They have all contacted me. They are willing to give you the highest salary, Even Paris Saint-Germain is willing to give you a salary of €270 million for 3 years. Manchester City is less. They are willing to give you a salary of £30 million a year. And the top executives of Barcelona have also secretly found me. They said they hope you will go back. But they need you to put pressure on Liverpool and let me scold them away. In addition, Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan, your fellow countrymen from Longwa have also contacted me. The old man from Real Madrid even called me personally. He wants to see you. Eyes. Mendes was talking excitedly, but he turned his head and saw Edwards with a dark face. In an instant, the air was suddenly quiet, filled with an awkward atmosphere. Episode 82. Sweeping Arsenal, Wenger resigned. The end of an era. An embarrassing situation. Finally, Chen Mo broke it. In front of Edwards, Chen Mo asked Mendes to reject Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain. He would not play football for money. If he liked money, he would not choose to play football in this life or the previous life. There was so much money waiting to be inherited at home. Why should he work for those two big desert dog owners for money? Even if he was not as rich as them, the checks they wrote were nothing to Chen Mo's family. As for Real Madrid, Chen Mo also asked Mendes to reject him. See, Roma would leave soon. Real Madrid spent a lot of money to sell a ball king to go back for recuperation, and Bale also fell into frequent injuries. The midfield is aging seriously. After the next season, he will definitely be the fire captain. He can wait for 1 or 2 seasons to enjoy the dividends of Liverpool before leaving. By then, Real Madrid, which has completed the reconstruction period, will be full of competitiveness again, and he can continue to enjoy the dividends. Or stay in Liverpool forever. He still has some feelings for Liverpool, although he has not joined for a long time. But he was forced to terminate his contract by Barcelona and was banned by the Dragons. Liverpool was able to provide him with opportunities and gave him the number 10 jersey. You should know that even if you have the ability, ordinary clubs will not give you the number 10 jersey immediately. Not to mention that they will give you the core position in less than a few months. Let the 3 red arrows play with you as the main player. Such treatment. It is enough to move Chen Mo, and it is also enough for him to have sufficient reasons to stay in Liverpool. It's just that this is Chen Mo's choice all the time. The result will at least be after the end of the next season. As for Inter Milan and Atletico Madrid, he didn't consider it at all. Atletico Madrid's richest man Wang will not have a good few days. He will soon be kicked out by Atletico Madrid's diluted shares. Atletico Madrid will not have any competitiveness in the next few years. As for Inter Milan, that's not to mention. Not to mention the decline of Serie A and low exposure, there is no competitiveness in the Champions League. Not to mention the current Inter Milan. That's a mess. He used to be a pure cow and horse. There is no need to consider it at all. The best result now is to stay in Liverpool and play football. Mendes naturally knew all this. So he nodded and agreed. He just deliberately said a few more words about salary. The purpose is obvious. With Chen Mo's current fame, the new heartthrob's appearance, and the influence of Asia, Liverpool club has received a lot of endorsements. It has made a lot of money. The billboards on the sidelines have been raised to sky-high prices by the local tycoons of Longwa. And all this was brought by Chen Mo. It is true that Chen Mo is not ready to leave, but Liverpool must also match the value that Chen Mo brings to them. There are 3 words between the words. Salary increase. Edwards naturally understood what Mendes meant. He said that he could negotiate. After the season, Chen Mo's new contract will be renegotiated, and then he will renew the contract with the big team. Mendes pouted and did not agree. Obviously not satisfied with the result. In the end, the two left together. Mendes is going to Turin, Italy, to meet with Juventus Agnelli. Ronaldo's contract extension with Real Madrid has broken down. Juventus expressed the idea of introducing Ronaldo. He needs to run over to make contact. Qualified for the quarterfinals. The semi-finals are about to begin. Liverpool was divided into the lower half and ushered in another strong enemy. Bundesliga overlord Bayern Munich. Compared with the lower half, Real Madrid met Roma. Liverpool's strength against Bayern is simply hellish. You have to know that this is the era of Real Madrid, Sampdoria, and Rennes. Real Madrid and Sampdoria are not just talk, they have suppressed the European football scene in recent years, while secretly cursing their bad luck. Liverpool can only go head-to-head with them. But before the first round of the Champions League semi-finals to the Allianz Arena, Liverpool first ushered in a round of the Premier League against the popular Arsenal. At the pre-match press conference, Wenger and Klopp attended together. As soon as the reporter sat down, the first question made Wenger angry. "Excuse me, Professor Wenger, the winter transfer players are fleeing Arsenal like crazy, and your team has not won for many rounds. Are you worried that Liverpool will beat you in a tragedy?" The smile on Wenger's face disappeared instantly after hearing this sentence. Klopp next to him was even more embarrassed. "Everyone knows that Liverpool can really beat Arsenal to a pulp, but you can't ask." "How can I start if you ask?" "Escape from Arsenal?" "I don't think so." Wenger stared at the reporter seriously. "I think the strength of Arsenal and Liverpool is not much different." Hearing this, Klopp couldn't help but pursed his lips. The old man is the old man. He is really thick-skinned despite his age. "What do you think of Liverpool's supernova Mo?" Another reporter stood up and asked. It can be seen that this is a reporter from Longwa. Mo performed very well. He is very talented, and he plays football with his brain. Such a player will have a high ceiling. As long as he can fully realize his talent, he may be able to stabilize the best midfield in history. Wenger answered truthfully. In fact, he started to pay attention to Chen Mo since Chen Mo's first game. Especially when he learned about Chen Mo's situation. The old man couldn't sleep for nights. Every time he saw Chen Mo, he was envious and jealous. He kept asking, "Why can't I encounter such a good thing? Will you invite Chen Mo to join Arsenal?" The Dragon reporter asked again. But at this moment Wenger chose to shake his head. No. The best players are already in the team. Arsenal's current players are already the best in the world, so there is no need to introduce other players. This almost made Klopp laugh. He really wanted to say something to the old man. But thinking about the current situation of Mr. Wenger, Klopp did not continue to make things difficult for the old man. He was going to go back to the locker room and tell his players to play more restrainedly. Let the old man be less angry. After all, Wenger is really difficult. During the winter transfer window, the team's main strikers and wingers left the team one after another. Sanchez went to Manchester United and Giroud went to Chelsea. The old man could only hastily introduce two players, Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan. But the turmoil in the winter window and the incompatibility of the new players made Arsenal unstable. After the winter window ended, Arsenal began to collapse, and the old man's position began to be unstable after a series of defeats. Some Arsenal fans even began to shout Wenger out at the Emirates Stadium. Finally, that is, this season, Arsenal's management chose to dismiss their coach for 20 years in an inhumane way. In a way that was almost humiliating, their godfather was kicked out. It also officially revealed the complete turmoil of Arsenal. It was not until then that I realized how big a problem Arsenal had been covered up by Wenger's existence. TV1. TV1. This is TV1 Sports Channel. The upcoming game is the Premier League. Arsenal is at home, playing against Liverpool. I am today's commentator, Jean June. This time, there was only Jean June in the commentary. Jean-Lu did not participate in the end. La Liga was short of people in the National Derby, so they borrowed people away. Players from both teams stepped onto the turf of the Emirates Stadium. First, let me introduce the starting lineups of both teams today. Arsenal, playing at home, set up a 4,231 formation. Goalkeeper, Damian Martinez. Defenders, Bellerin, Mustafi, Koscielny, Kolasinac. Defensive midfielders, Razum, Xhaka. Midfielder, Mkhitaryan, Ernesto, Welbeck. Forward, Aubameyang. The main goalkeeper Cech is injured, so the substitute goalkeeper Damian Martinez will be the starting goalkeeper. Liverpool rotates and sets up a 433 formation. Goalkeeper, Karius. Defenders, Arnold, Lovren, Matip, Robertson. Midfielder, Chamberlain, Chen Mo, Wijnaldum. Forward, Sulla, Firmino, Danny Ings. Don't think Arsenal is not strong now. But Wenger always advocates playing offensive football and beautiful football. Never play defensive counterattacks. No matter how strong the opponent is, they will play against each other. It's the same now. After the kickoff, it's a quick pass and cut attack. Liverpool is naturally not to be outdone. Both sides are tit for tat. Chen Mo understands the Arsenal in front of him. Their front midfielder is the offensive driver. As long as this is restricted, Arsenal can be suppressed. Erdogan himself doesn't like physical confrontation. Moreover, this guy is not a good guy. Chen Mo remembers that this guy is full of shit. Naturally, he won't be polite to him. He went straight up. As a result, the guy on the opposite side didn't know what he was talking about. He showed off his footwork and faked Chen Mo, shaking continuously, trying to shake Chen Mo's center of gravity. Chen Mo was speechless. That's it? He stepped forward decisively. Like a precise caliper, he directly pulled his sports gear and easily cut the ball from under his feet. Liverpool immediately launched an attack. Even if it was not all the main players. The red arrows were missing main. But the offensive firepower was still undiminished. In the 19th minute of the game, Chen Mo stole Erdogan's ball and made a series of quick passes with Chamberlain. The last fierce through ball broke through the Arsenal defense. Firmino got the ball after offside and faked a shot and passed the ball to deceive Damian Martinez. Crossing Salah and breaking through the Arsenal goal. Seeing Damian Martinez's angry expression, Chen Mo couldn't help but smile. Damian Martinez is still in a state of being underappreciated. If Cech hadn't been injured, he wouldn't have had a chance to play at all. So he cherishes playing games very much. He wants to try his best to perform well and win the team's recognition. But he has top-notch save ability, but poor passing skills. He can't form a pass with the defender. He can only launch a long pass. This initiative is not suitable for a passing and cutting team like Arsenal. Tet. Don't be afraid of confrontation. Pass the ball forward. Don't always pass it back. The old man Wenger in the coaching area on the sidelines was so anxious that he kept yelling. Chen Mo was quite rude to Erkki. If you can confront physically, do it physically, and never rely on other steals. Just to let this grandson eat the giant. He looked at the shrinkage, but with the blessing of the demon boy's body, Erkki suffered a lot in physical confrontation. In the end, once Chen Mo came up, he would pass the ball back immediately. He was also scared by Chen Mo. Erkki's negative emotions exploded wildly. He wailed in his heart. This guy looked shrunk, but it really hurt when he hit me. The key is that he didn't blame this guy. Why did he target me so much? Is it because he was born in Barcelona and I played for Real Madrid? This shouldn't be the case. He didn't understand. But this didn't stop Chen Mo from targeting him wildly. He strangled Erkki to death. Arsenal's attack came to a standstill. Liverpool began to attack continuously. The 36th minute of the game. Liverpool got a corner kick opportunity. Chen Mo took the corner kick and sent the ball to Firmino's head. Firmino easily headed the ball. The ball went in. Chen Mo assists. Firmino headed the ball into the goal. 2-0. Arsenal has no ability to resist Liverpool. Jean Jun's voice was full of ease. Obviously he was enjoying a feast of attack that belonged to the continuation. But Wenger was anxious at this moment. Some fans at the Emirates Stadium shouted wildly at the field. Wenger out. Wenger out. A bunch of ungrateful wolves. I have long forgotten that the hotshot can be ranked in the Big Six today, but it is all given by their meritorious coach Wenger. Chen Mo also heard this voice. He couldn't help but look at Wenger on the sidelines. I don't know what's going on. I suddenly felt a little sorry for this old man. Being yelled out by the fans of the club he dedicated his life to was the most fatal blow to him. The last stoppage time of the first half. Liverpool won a free kick in the front court. Xhaka failed to control the ball and fouled Salah. Damian Martinez yelled at his teammates and raised his hand to direct his teammates to set up a human wall. Chen Mo stood in front of the penalty spot. The referee blew the whistle. System uses the skill card Crescent Moon Scimitar. Used successfully. After receiving the system prompt sound, Chen Mo quickly ran up and kicked the ball, and his body and the grass were almost parallel to each other at a 90-degree angle. Crescent Moon Scimitar. Damian Martinez judged the direction correctly, jumped up and grabbed the football with both hands. At Arsenal's most difficult moment, Damian Martinez stood up. He caught Chen Mo's sure goal. Break Chen Mo's record of free kicks. Seeing Damian Martinez actually take his own free kick, Chen Mo was also stunned. It really deserves to be the World Cup America's Cup Golden Hand, Noma's, gloves, the first active goalkeeper in the future. This save ability is really amazing. The Crescent Moon skill card has a 90% goal rate, which is difficult for ordinary goalkeepers to block. Climbing up from the grass with the football in his arms, Damian Martinez excitedly rushed towards Chen Mo roared, releasing his suppressed emotions. Wenger also punched hard to celebrate. Klopp, however, stared at the roaring Martin and became interested. Great save ability. Is that Arsenal's backup goalkeeper? Write it down. Talk to Edwards later and let him try to find out. See if he can be brought in during the summer window. Klopp gave instructions to the assistant coach. After the second half started. In the 80th minute. Chen Mo used the skill 100 flowers and scored a long shot from the top of the penalty area. Damian Martinez stared at Chen as if he had seen a ghost. Mo. He just stared at the football flying over. The football was spinning and fluctuating rapidly, as if several footballs were flying towards him. When he reached out to save the ball, he found that he had missed it. That ball was completely beyond his cognition. 3 o'clock. Liverpool stopped and the score remained until the end of the game. It was thought to be a normal game, a loss. The game was over. But at the post-match press conference, Wenger, who was decadent, announced on the spot that he would resign after the end of the season. The back of the post-match press conference was full of decline. Maybe he was reluctant to leave Arsenal. But after being kicked by Liverpool and having no resistance, he suddenly felt that he should leave. He felt that he seemed to be eliminated. His persistence has become a remnant of the old era. He is a remnant of the old era, and the new era has no way to carry his persistence. Rather than forcing himself to stay and ending in shame, it is better to leave on his own initiative. Klopp did not speak for a long time. Finally, he left a very lonely sentence to the reporter. An era is over. Episode 83. Cutting inside is unstoppable? I am stealing your ball and breaking your unstoppable. Liverpool sweeps Arsenal. Arsenal is helpless. Wenger announces his resignation after the end of the season. 21 years of coaching career will finally come to an end. The end of an era. The legend of the old era, the end. Ferguson was interviewed. Wenger's greatness lies in the fact that he brought Arsenal to the position of a giant. Mourinho was interviewed. Arsenal's investment is not enough to support their strength. Without Wenger, they would have fallen to the bottom long ago. Fans at the Emirates Stadium shouted Wenger out. The legendary godfather left the field sadly. Klopp said that Wenger's greatness cannot be described in words. A sad mood spread throughout the Premier League. Wenger's retirement made many people feel a sense of powerlessness at the end of an era. Wenger and Ferguson were once the representatives of the Premier League. One dominated the Premier League championship. The other led the hotshot team to sweep England unbeaten for 49 games. The battle between the two is almost the most watched drama in the Premier League. But with Ferguson's retirement, the Manchester United dynasty collapsed. The Premier League has entered an era of chaos as money-driven football has flooded into the Premier League. Wenger carried his Arsenal and fought his way out of the quagmire of debt. The brand new Emirates Stadium left for Arsenal. He helped the team win more than a dozen championships. It is finally coming to an end. Almost all media commentators believe that Wenger's strength will make Arsenal completely weak. Just like Manchester United. No one can lead such a team that is not the top like Wenger, and can stand steadily in the top 4 every season. There is even the possibility of competing for the championship every season. But obviously some Arsenal fans don't think so. The management doesn't think so either. After Wenger announced his resignation at the end of the season, they immediately sent someone to contact Emery. It was officially announced that the coach who had just been fired by Paris Saint-Germain will serve as the head coach next season. It was like rubbing the old coach Wenger's face on the ground. There is no respect for the legendary godfather. There is no humanity at all. But Chen Mo understands. This is exactly the style of American businessmen. Trash American people have always been ruthless and ungrateful. They don't know what respect is. They are more like doing their own thing. Unless they shoot themselves in the foot and break their feet, they may feel regretful. Wenger announced his departure. It did cause a lot of turmoil within Arsenal. Especially among the players. Among them, Damian Martinez was the first to bear the brunt. He knows his footwork, and it is not as delicate as the goalkeepers nowadays. He can't do it like Neuer, Ter Stegen, and Dessen. So he has never been liked by technical coaches 310. Only Wenger is willing to give him a chance. And promised him that he would give him a starting position next season. But now Wenger will leave next season. Will the new coach admit it? The answer is obvious. The other party is the head coach of the bullfighting country. The king of the European League. Absolutely a fan of technical flow and passing and controlling flow. He is sure that his future in Arsenal next season is gone. Is he going to start another aimless loan? Damian Martinez fell into deep depression. He was also tired of being thrown around. Suddenly, an idea of giving up came into his mind and could not be dispelled for a long time. Damien. Are you worried again? His wife saw him sitting on the sofa without saying a word, and she came over to enlighten him out of worry. Seeing his wife's bulging belly, Damien Martinez's idea of giving up was thrown behind his mind. His child will be born soon. He can't give up. Once he gives up, he may not be able to give his child a stable life. No. Damien Martinez's eyes were much gentler. I'm sorry, dear. I may not be able to give you a stable life. Wenger is leaving, and I may be loaned out next season. His wife stroked his forehead and said gently, it's okay. You can pursue your dreams with confidence. I will always support you. The two were full of love. But at this moment, a phone call broke in and broke the atmosphere between the two. Damien Martinez took out his mobile phone and saw that it was a call from his agent. The heart that had just been soothed by his wife fell to the bottom again. Damn club. Is it already impatient and ready to notify me now that I will be loaned out next season? He answered the phone. Good news for Damien. When Martin heard what his agent said, he said, don't be ridiculous. How can I have good news? It's really good news. I just received a call from Edwards, the sports director of Liverpool. He invited you to join Liverpool next season. He told me that he has contacted Arsenal and they are willing to sell you in the summer window. Edwards asked me to ask if you have any idea of joining Liverpool? If so, we can sign a joining agreement in advance. The agent finished talking about the good news he brought. This made Martin very confused. Liverpool. They invited me to join? Why? Are they short of a backup goalkeeper? He was unknown. BBDH. When the other party invited him to join, the first thing he thought of was the lack of a backup goalkeeper. No. Edwards told me everything. They will deal with Karius in the summer window. That guy's low-level mistakes and butterhands have made Klopp very frustrated. In the game against Arsenal, you took off Chen Mo's almost certain goal, which made Klopp interested in you and asked Edwards to bring you in. And Edwards asked me to tell you that Klopp promised that as long as you can guarantee the level of that game, you will be Liverpool's main goalkeeper next season, which can be written in the agreement. The agent was very excited. That's Liverpool. A Premier League giant. It's so easy to be their goalkeeper. The world's #1 defender and the world's top midfielder have set up 2 barriers in front of the goalkeeper. Most of the time, the goalkeeper is just watching the game on the field. Such an easy job, but the idiot Karius can throw it away. It's jaw-dropping. Hey? Damien, are you listening? What's your attitude? You're still waiting for my reply. Seeing that Damien Martinez hadn't spoken, the agent asked anxiously. I'll go. Tell them. I can guarantee my current status, as long as they can guarantee my position as a starter. If I don't perform well, they can cut my salary by 50% at any time. It can be written in the agreement. Damien Martinez replied excitedly. The moment he hung up the phone, all the gloom was swept away. He hugged his wife excitedly. We have to move. Liverpool wants to sign me. They promised to give me the starting position. Damien Martinez laughed. At this moment, the boat has passed thousands of mountains. The Champions League semi-finals are coming. Klopp led the Liverpool team to the chariot country. Old Klopp is very familiar with Bayern, the opponent, and hates it very much. From leading Mainz to the Bundesliga, to later blowing the youth storm in his Dortmund. Fighting with Bayern for more than 10 years. Even in his life, he is still far away from the European Cup. The most recent time, he fell at the feet of Bayern, at the feet of the current Bayern coach, old coach Hinks. That season, Bayern won the Triple Crown by stepping on his Dortmund. The key was before the Champions League final. Bayern played dirty and announced the news that Götze joined them. It disrupted Dortmund's morale at once. In the end, they lost the game due to unstable morale. This made Klopp completely hate Bayern. After that, the disciples he personally trained were killed by Bayern one after another. Götze, Lewandowski, Hummels. Even bluntly. The season when he left the Bundesliga and Dortmund, the results collapsed because the main players were hollowed out by Bayern. So for him, Klopp. Bayern plus Hinks. Double hatred buff. This time in the semi-finals, he came to revenge. Before leaving for the chariot country, Klopp also specially organized the team for a 2-day, fully closed special training. He took his own players to break down Bayern's tactical system. He personally taught the players, analyzed the Bayern players one by one, and made detailed targeted plans. For this reason, Klopp prepared several sets of tactics used to target the lineup that Bayern may put out. Among them, the focus is on Lewandowski, Robben, Ribery, James Rodriguez, and the super surprise soldier, the tragic bottle opener Muller. In short, the preparations this time are unprecedentedly sufficient. In this way, the whole team came to the Allianz Arena, the home of Bayern in the Chariot Country, with the determination to win and avenge the head coach. The Allianz Arena was crowded. Bayern fans were creating a crazy atmosphere. It has become a sea of red. Liverpool fans who traveled with the team were also in it, and a touch of deep red was very conspicuous. But in this piece of red, a piece of yellow seemed unusually abrupt. They sang "You'll Never Walk Alone" with Liverpool fans, helping Liverpool fans fight against Bayern fans. If you look closely, you will find it. They all wore Hornets jerseys. From Dortmund fans. They came here to cheer for Old Ko. Old Ko has a high reputation and status in Dortmund, and he has a large number of loyal fans. This time Old Ko brought the team back to play, and it was against Bayern Munich, so they had to help out. Old Ko was looking at them in the coaching area, and he was in a trance, as if he had returned to the time when he led Dortmund to play a derby with Bayern. Players from both sides entered the field. The captain guessed the side of the coin, and after exchanging team flags, the two sides began to shake hands. Chen Mo followed the team and shook hands all the way. Met Wanzi. Blade Runner Ribery. Hummels. Ronaldo, who became famous with 1 goal in the World Cup. Neuer, the current top goalkeeper. And Luo Lauhan. However, at the moment of shaking hands with Luo Lauhan, the other party grabbed his hand fiercely. "I heard that you have the world's best stealing ability?" he asked rather lightly. But Chen Mo heard the provocation from this guy. Luo Lauhan. Absolutely a thorn. Head. Competitive. He likes to provoke others. Of course, what he likes most is to bully young people, whether they are opponents or teammates. After all, this guy was beaten up in his own national team locker room because of bullying young players. In the end, in order to prevent being beaten up, he deliberately hid an iron rod in the locker room. So he got the title of Luo Taigun. Now it is obvious that this guy should be targeting himself. But Chen Mo's main goal is not to cause trouble, but he is definitely not afraid of trouble. Naturally, he will not be afraid of Robben. He smiled and asked back. "I heard that you have no solution when you cut inside?" Robben was stunned. Obviously, he didn't expect that Chen Mo, such a small player, was not afraid of him and even retorted. His face subconsciously darkened. "You can try it." "I will." Chen Mo nodded in agreement. He played as a left defensive midfielder today and switched positions with Wijnaldum. He was arranged by Klopp to target Robben. TV1. TV1. This is TV1 Sports Channel. The first round of the Champions League semi-finals will start in Bayern vs Liverpool. This game will be explained by Huang Jianxiong and Wang Tao. First, let me introduce the starting lineups of both sides. Bayern, sitting at home, set up 42-31, a typical chariot formation. Goalkeeper, Neuer. Defenders, Kimmich, Boateng, Hummels, Rafinha. Defensive midfielder, Thiago, Javi Martinez. Midfielder, Robben, Ronaldo, Ribery. Forward, Lewandowski. Liverpool set up a 343 formation. Goalkeeper, Karius. Defenders, Matip, Van Dijk, Lovren. Midfielder, Henderson, Wijnaldum, Chen Mo, Milner. Forwards, Sulla, Firmino, Main. The referee blew the whistle to start the game. Bayern started the attack immediately. Lewandowski passed the ball back, and James Rodriguez directly launched a long pass and found Robben, who was advancing behind Milner. Liverpool retreated all the way. Robben dribbled forward. Bayern's two wings are really strong. Lewandowski broke into the Liverpool penalty area. Robben dribbled forward from the ribs and started to cut inside. A cry of surprise rang out. Robben's cut inside is known to the whole world. They all call Robben's cut inside an unsolvable cut inside. They even say that the whole world knows Robben is going to cut inside, but you just can't let him go. But the main reason why you can't defend it is that Robben's dribbling frequency is too fast, and his fake moves are too realistic. Every fake move is a fake shot and a real dribble. Plus the fast frequency. It is indeed difficult to defend. But for Chen Mo, this is not difficult. He quickly stuck to Robben. Robben was obviously running towards him. The two of them instantly clashed in front of the penalty area. Robin cut inside and suddenly paused, and raised his left foot to shoot. But Chen Mo had already predicted his next intention. Everything is under control. It's not a shot now. Chen Mo moved quickly and stretched out his foot first. Sure enough, Robin was just faking a shot, and continued to cut inside with his right foot. But at this moment, Chen Mo's outstretched foot fell accurately, landing in front of Robin's right foot. Like a dagger inserted accurately into the heart. DHA. The football hit Chen Mo's face. Chen Mo took action immediately. He hooked the ball with his toes and pulled it back. He stole the ball from Robin's feet. The confrontation lasted only a moment. Robin was stunned. The ball was actually intercepted? Negative emotion value from Robin, plus 777. The whole field was still watching Robin's unsolvable cut inside. Almost all Bayern fans were expecting Robin's unsolvable cut inside to score. But Chen Mo shattered their expectations. Buter. Chen Mo successfully intercepted the ball. He intercepted the ball from Robin's feet, breaking the unsolved myth of Robin's cut inside. It was just a steal. Huang Jianxiang shouted excitedly. Robin's cut inside was too famous. It was like a mountain pressing on the top of the football world, which had never been broken. This is Chen Mo. It was your Robin's ball that was intercepted, and it was your Robin's unsolvable cut. You intercepted the ball? Liar. Didn't you say that Robin's cut inside was unsolvable? Chen Mo said that Robin's cut inside was unsolvable? How come Mo's answer is the same as the answer to elementary school addition and subtraction? False propaganda. Is this called unsolvable? That's ridiculous. It's not that Robin's inside cut is unsolvable. It's that Chen Mo's ability to steal is too strong. The king of steals. The midfield destroyer. The title is not for nothing. That's all Chen Mo's reputation for playing game after game. Robin's unsolvable inside cut is certified. Chen Mo is the real king of steals. Episode 84. Back. Robin doubts his life and completely destroys the myth of no solution. Beautiful. The moment when Robin was intercepted by Chen Mo. Klopp suddenly punched the air. He roared excitedly. He knew it. Chen Mo would definitely be able to limit Robin's cut-in. But seeing Chen Mo really do it, Klopp still felt surprised. Robin has been famous for a long time. His unsolvable cut-in made all the top defensive players in the world fail. Originally, he thought Chen Mo could limit it. As long as Robin's cut-in was restricted, that was enough. But the surprise was, Chen Mo not only disappeared, but also successfully intercepted the ball accurately. It looked so easy. There was no extra movement, let alone returning, he didn't even touch Robin. It is very difficult to have no direct physical contact in the interception. Not to mention intercepting Robin's cut-in? Those top midfielders and top defenders were just about to jump on Robin and hug Robin over their shoulders, but they still couldn't stop him. But what about Chen Mo? Easily. Just one kick. No physical contact. Just snatched the ball. It stunned Robin. It stunned all Bayern fans. It stunned old coach Hanks. How could it be? How could this be possible? Robin's myth of cutting inside is broken? How could he do it so easily? Hanks kept asking questions and doubted his life. How could it be possible? He couldn't figure it out. Robin's cutting inside is always successful. Even though Robin is old now, his experience, understanding of cutting inside, and control of football have reached a state of near demon. Old demon, old demon. The older they get, the more demon they become. They were top players when they were young, and the older they get, the better they play. Especially technical players. It's just that their physical functions and physical fitness have deteriorated. But their abilities are stronger, reaching the point of unity between man and nature. Just like the future Cristiano Ronaldo, who can still score 40 goals in the Desert League season and win the Asian Golden Boot at the age of 40. Just like the future Messi, who can still dominate the World Cup at the age of 36 and finally take home the World Cup. Just like Ibrahimovic, who is in his 40s, can still lead Milan to revival and regain the Serie A championship. The same is true for Robin now. So Hanks wondered, why could an 18-year-old young man steal Robin so easily? Underestimated the enemy. Robin underestimated the enemy. It is definitely because he saw the opponent was young and didn't take the opponent seriously at all, giving the opponent an opportunity to take advantage of him. Hanks answered himself and believed it firmly. Robin. Be serious. Don't underestimate the enemy, this is the Champions League. Do you want to be kicked out of your reputation by an 18-year-old spearhead at the end of your career? Hanks is definitely an old PUA master. He easily controlled Robin. With Robin's temper. If he scolds Robin, it will definitely cause Robin's dissatisfaction. He might even give up and go against you. But if you flatter him and encourage him, he will immediately take advantage of you. But if you use provocation to provoke him, he will fight for his life. Sure enough. After hearing what the teacher said, he immediately became full of fighting spirit. Liverpool made a quick counterattack. Firmino and Main, the three crossed in the front court. They broke through Bayern's defense and fully exposed all the problems of Bayern's defense. The first place was ignored. There was a big loophole. But in the end, they still failed to score. Main and Sulla crossed positions. Sulla passed the ball to Main, pulling the opponent's defensive player. Then Main made a jump pass. He passed the ball to Firmino. Firmino turned and shot. Neuer took the initiative and punched out with all his strength, shooting the football out with an electric cannon. The best goalkeeper in active service. That level is definitely not exaggerated. Hummels quickly shouted to clear the ball and kicked the ball to the front court. Javi Martinez competed with Henderson, who was advancing. Henderson's height and jumping ability were at a disadvantage. He lost in the battle in the air. The second landing point was moved up and down by Javi Martinez, and he immediately passed it diagonally to the left. Blade Warrior Ribery took the ball. He started a crazy forward charge. On the other side, Robin also stopped retreating immediately, turned around and began to press forward quickly. Lewandowski and James Rodriguez in the middle also started to charge forward. Both wings fly together. Cannons in the middle. Typical tank country-style football. Once the attack begins, it's like a leopard tank launching a blitzkrieg charge. Bayern's counterattack. Both wings fly together. Lewandowski's battering ram hits out in the middle, and J. Luo presses on to set up the cannon. Liverpool's formation retreats very timely. Wijnaldum fills in and holds off Ribery. Ribery fakes a breakthrough. Fake shot and real pass. Large-scale transfer of the football, a long pass dispatch, finds the key on the right side. A series of smooth cooperation. Milner chases Robin. Robin pauses suddenly, lifts his foot to unload the football, and then slams the inside of his heel on the football. The football rushes out horizontally behind Robin. Robin takes the opportunity to start suddenly. His physical function declines, his explosive power weakens, and he no longer has the energy of his youth. But his grasp of rhythm has already reached the pinnacle. Just like that, he paused to unload the ball, then kicked the ball with his heel and started again. This made Milner panic. Before he could adjust, Robin passed him. Following the horizontally rolling football, Robin followed his body and once again faced Chen Mo, who had retreated to the right position, and once again performed an inside cut. He stared at the penalty area in front of him with his hands behind his back to prevent the football from hitting his hands, and Chen Mo, who completed the foul penalty. Finally, a playful smile emerged. "I'm serious," Robin said deliberately. Put verbal pressure on Chen Mo. Then he started his action, dribbling the ball horizontally and cutting inside. Don't think Robin is not a good person. But sometimes, you really have to admit that this guy is really good at football. From the moment he cut inside. His inside pass, every horizontal movement, every lift of his foot, all grasped the measure to the extreme. Each one is full of confusion. And it has absolute authenticity. Gives people a feeling that he is going to shoot every time. This is also the reason why he is unstoppable when cutting inside. Some defensive players, unable to withstand his sense of reality, choose to take the initiative to attack. But the result is that they are completely thrown away by Robin. Watching Robin pass by in front of him, and finally watching him shoot in despair. If Chen Mo did not have the blessing of God-level prediction, he would have taken action long ago. But now, Chen Mo is as steady as a mountain. Following Robin's movement, he maintains absolute concentration in the same movement. Ensure that he can start the attack at any time. Others are so nervous that they forget to breathe, and now they are staring at the confrontation between the two. Including the players on the field. They seem to be spectators watching a peak duel. Just those who quietly watch the confrontation between the two. Chen Mo never moves. Robin moves at his own pace, observing Chen Mo, while also observing the goal defense line and the shooting space. Robin hardly cares whether Chen Mo takes the initiative or not. Because in his mind, when he gets serious, he will definitely cut inside without any solution. Chen Mo will always be the one who loses in the end. And Chen Mo is waiting for an opportunity. He has just discovered another biggest loophole in Robben's inability to cut inside. That is the moment when he is really ready to shoot. There will be a small pause of less than 2 seconds. Even if it turns true into false, when the opponent rushes up to block the shot, he will turn it into a fake move and continue to cut inside with the ball. There will also be a small pause of these 2 seconds. This is Chen Mo's opportunity. In less than 2 seconds, most players may not notice it. Some of the top midfielders and central defenders are extremely sensitive to the details of football and may notice it. But at the moment of noticing, it takes less than 2 seconds for the brain to give instructions to the body. In other words, the brain notices it, but the body can't keep up. But Chen Mo has a god-level prediction. He can predict Robben's actions in advance. These less than 2 seconds are Chen Mo's opportunity. Just like this moment. Robben raised his left foot slightly more. Now, Chen Mo took the initiative to attack. He took a quick step forward, and the explosive power brought by the body of the demon boy suddenly jumped out. He took the knife with his right foot and took the football under Robben's feet. The moment Chen Mo took action, Robben immediately dropped his left foot and turned the real one into a fake one. But this tiny pause of less than 2 seconds was accurately grasped by Chen Mo. Luo Laohan was powerless to save the situation. Unload the ball. Knock the ball with your heel behind you. Robben passed Milner and started to cut inside. Cut inside again, Robben is back. Chen Mo retreated in time. The two of them faced each other again along the top of the penalty area. The unsolvable cut inside began. Chen Mo took the initiative. It was intercepted. A precise right foot black tiger cut. Beautiful. Beautiful steal. Chen Mo once again broke Robben's unsolvable cut inside. He told the world with his steal. There is no myth in this world that he can't break. When Huang Jianxiang and Wang Tao slapped the table to pass the ball, it was as if Liverpool had scored the winning goal. The moment the ball was intercepted, Chen Mo pulled the ball back with his right foot, then dropped his left foot and shifted his body weight. He suddenly passed the ball forward with his right foot. He passed the ball to Henderson, who was retreating. At the moment of passing the ball, Chen Mo also took the opportunity to respond to Robben's previous remarks that he should be serious. You really make me unable to be serious. Robben, who was still immersed in another interception and doubting his life, suddenly heard Chen Mo say such a light and floating word. He suddenly felt that his heart was pierced by a knife and suffered a 10,000-ton critical hit. Negative emotion value from Robben, plus 1,236. The moment Chen Mo intercepted the pass. Ask for flowers. Liverpool all pressed forward and quickly moved forward to prepare for their new round of attack. But at this moment, Chen Mo suddenly found that Jay Luo was sneaking up behind Henderson, who was about to receive the ball. Henderson didn't notice it at all. Behind! Chen Mo yelled. But it was too late. Just as Henderson was about to stretch his foot to catch the ball and turn around, James Rodriguez suddenly rushed into his field of vision. He panicked and tried to make up for it. But the ball had been stolen. Henderson hurriedly reached out to grab Ronaldo's jersey. James Rodriguez grabbed the ball without any pause. He rushed forward with the ball. Just as Chen Mo rushed up to meet him and fill in for Henderson, he didn't give Chen Mo a chance to get close. He quickly passed the ball to his teammate Xavi Martinez, who was rushing up from behind. He rushed towards Chen Mo to interfere with Chen Mo. Xavi Martinez did not stop the ball. He passed the ball forward. The ball crossed the half-court, crossed the top of the penalty area, and fell directly into Liverpool's penalty area. Chen Mo was interfered by James Rodriguez. Even with god-level prediction, he could not kill Xavi Martinez, and he did not have time to retreat into the penalty area. Liverpool's defense line was switching from defense to offense. Unexpectedly, the ball was passed back, catching him off guard. Lewandowski, who was about to retreat, reacted immediately when the ball flew over, and immediately turned around and rushed forward from Van Dijk's side. Karius was also startled. He hurriedly wanted to take the initiative. But when he saw Lewandowski killing him, he was so scared that he dared not move. He watched Lewandowski get the ball and shoot at it. The ball was very fast. Even if Karius reacted, judged the direction correctly, and quickly made a diving save, he was still half a beat late. His mental quality is a bit poor. His brain is not decisive. His predictive ability is slow, and it is even more difficult to dive and save. It's like one step behind and every step behind. The football hit the net. The referee blew the whistle and raised his hand to the center circle to indicate a goal. The ball went in. Bayern counter-grabbed the ball on the spot and quickly counter-attacked to break Liverpool's goal. Henderson made a mistake, didn't notice the one behind him. J. Luo suddenly rushed out and grabbed the ball. After that, Luo cooperated with Javi Martinez and immediately interfered with Chen after passing the ball. Mo. Javi Martinez made a lob pass forward. Lewandowski succeeded in countering the offside. Karius hesitated and was frightened by Lewandowski's rushing out. He did not take the initiative to attack, which led to the knife taking the ball and shooting easily. Although he judged the direction correctly, he still failed to stop the goal. Huang Jianxiang and Wang Tao suddenly wilted like eggplants hit by frost. The Allianz Arena instantly rang with violent cheers. Old coach Hanks waved his arms wildly on the sidelines to celebrate. The jubilant Bayern fans kept roaring at the field from the stands. The home DJ led the fans to roar. Lewandowski! 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 As if he wanted this huge momentum to completely crush Liverpool here. How did Damien turn out? Klopp's face was livid, and he glanced at the Bayern fans in the stands who were madly provoking him, and turned around and sat back in the coaching seat. Henderson did make a mistake just now. He didn't notice James Rodriguez behind him, and was suddenly intercepted by James Rodriguez. But this was also related to James Rodriguez's clever running position, confusing Henderson. Henderson ignored his back. This is understandable. But Karius's problem has obviously become bigger. The distance just now was obviously enough to take the initiative. As long as he takes the initiative, he will definitely be better than Lewandowski got the ball faster, and at worst, he could destroy it one step ahead. After all, Lewandowski can only use his feet, and he can punch the ball out in the air with his hand. But he was actually scared. He didn't dare to take the initiative, and was shot at by Lewandowski like a target. He gave up the initiative. This is simply unacceptable to Klopp. It's even more intolerable for him. He can accept that the goalkeeper has no footwork. Liverpool's tactics don't require the goalkeeper to form a footwork connection with the defender like a doorman. But he needs the goalkeeper to have a large defensive range. Strong save ability. Dare to take the initiative. But it is obvious that Karius does not reach. Not only does he not have the footwork, he also cannot expand the defensive area, take the initiative, and make top-level saves. Not to mention that he often gets nervous, makes low-level mistakes, and has butter hands. Klopp has no patience for him at all. The lineup in the past few seasons was too flawed, and the insufficient funds had to be used to improve the lineup. There is no extra money to replace the goalkeeper. But now the lineup is complete, and only a few suitable substitutes are needed, which doesn't cost much. Klopp has a hunch that if the goalkeeper's shortcomings are not saved now, Liverpool will have to eat Datong in the future. Done. The agreement is finalized, and I will report the corpse next season. Episode 85. Psychological warfare failed. Chen Mo made a fool of Neuer, and Neuer lost his mind. Hen. Why did you fail at the critical moment? Karius, what the hell are you doing? Take the initiative. You are chained to the goal line. This ball can be destroyed if you take the initiative. What the hell are you thinking? Lewandowski is a Tibetan Mastiff? Are you afraid that he will eat you? You scared me like this. Liverpool is serious. I suddenly found that Longzhou goalkeeper is not without merit, and the goalkeepers of other top clubs are also good at it. The goal line is my home. The most terrible thing is to leave home. The main goalkeeper is a home lover. Top lineup. Top strength. Longzhou goalkeeper, this configuration is too top-heavy? Last time, Arsenal's substitute goalkeeper was better than him. If it weren't for that guy, Liverpool would have scored 6 goals. Chen Mo's crescent moon scimitar was taken off. It's worth 20 million euros, at most 20. Any more is just a price tag. Don't blame the goalkeeper. Liverpool is a fake strong team. It's okay to play against fake giants like Manchester City, but it's really no match for Bayern, with natural suppression. Real Madrid, Salzburg and Munich are not bragging. Liverpool is really far behind. I say Liverpool will lose this game. Robin was strangled. And Lewandowski. But Liverpool only has one Chen Mo. Do you think Liverpool's 3 red arrows are just for show? Aren't the 3 red arrows much stronger than Ribery and Lewandowski, the old, weak and disabled? Liverpool's goalkeeper is really weak, but Liverpool's offensive firepower is not a boast. Only the current Real Madrid and the peak Barcelona can compete with it. Bayern's celebration ended quickly. Just one goal. The game had just started for less than 20 minutes, and there was no excitement of the final kill. And not everyone was excited about Lewandowski's goal. Robin didn't have the joy of the team leading at all. He was still immersed in a deep loss. The unsolvable cut-in that he was proud of sweeping across Europe was actually cracked. And it was cracked twice. Am I really old? 99.7. Or is my unsolvable cut-in really rubbish? The black-haired kid just now said that his cut-in didn't make him take it seriously at all. Is it true or false? My fame really made him so relaxed and didn't give him a little pressure? The most important thing for a person is faith and self-confidence. Once faith and self-confidence are suddenly shattered and collapsed, the terrible degree is not a joke. It will completely destroy a person. Robin has never tasted the bitter fruit of failure, but he was suddenly fed too. He was a little full. He fell into self-doubt and self-denial. After the game resumed, Robin was still in a daze. Even if he received a pass from his teammates, Robin didn't dare to do anything. Even if Chen Mo was not there. Just facing Milner, he didn't dare to do anything, let alone try to play inside. He was self-doubting and self-denying. Anyone can come if he falls into it. Even if it was an opponent that Milner had broken through, he no longer had the calmness he had before. Instead, he was more afraid. He was afraid that he couldn't get through, and that he would fail to cut inside. This caused a big problem under his feet. Milner pressed forward and Robin's rhythm and pace were messed up. In the end, Milner easily intercepted the ball. Looking at Milner's back as he left with the ball, Robin panicked. His last bit of confidence collapsed. He was really a waste. Milner could easily kill him. The old self had no magic and had become a waste. The psychological defense line collapsed completely. He fell into an absolute vicious circle. Chen Mo. That black-haired kid. He uncovered my last fig leaf. Negative emotion value from Robin plus 1111. Negative emotion value from Robin. From Robin. The system suddenly gave 3 prompts, which made Chen Mo confused. What does Milner's steal have to do with me? Why do you provide me with negative emotion value? He turned back and looked at Robin, meeting Robin's confused and collapsed eyes. 3. It seems that Robin seems to have a big problem. This guy was broken down by his 2 consecutive steals. Milner's steal was the final blow. But Robin only remembered himself, and it was because of himself that he broke down. Is this the endurance of the world's top superstars? Chen Mo couldn't help but sigh. He didn't know. Robin was already old, and was already in a situation where he doubted whether he could continue his career. He had been struggling in his heart for a long time. As a result, he ran into him. 2 hits. The last bit of struggle and obsession of the big brother were completely crushed. He desperately thought, or accepted. His career was about to end. Milner's steal. Robin's footsteps were messed up. What's going on? Robin's condition is a little bit wrong. Huang Jianxiang and Wang Tao both found Robin's problem. Old coach Hanks naturally found it. My heart was suddenly filled with worry about Robin. Even vaguely guessed it. There might be a big problem. Replace him to enlighten him? The old coach is worried that replacing Robin at this time will give Robin's faith, which has already begun to collapse, a fatal blow. Let Robin fall and collapse completely. Don't replace him. Obviously Robin's mentality has collapsed, and it is impossible for him to play well, and he may be further hit. The team's right-wing attack will also be useless. This puts the old coach in a dilemma. But something even more difficult happened to him. After Milner intercepted the ball, he decisively dribbled forward and passed the ball to Maine. Liverpool's attack started instantly. All the players pressed forward. Chen Mo, Henderson and Wijnaldum all joined in. Maine directly connected with Chen Mo, and Sulla and Firmino retreated to respond. The 4 formed a diamond-shaped coordination lineup. Using tacit running and passing, tearing, cross-passing, and wall-to-wall cooperation. One knife. One knife. One knife. Cut Bayern's defense line to pieces. Finally, Chen Mo took the ball with his back to the goal, and made a flexible heel pass through the crotch of Thiago, who was defending closely. Sulla quickly moved to the middle and got the ball, then used the outside of his right foot to pick the ball over Kimmich and found Maine behind him. Maine suddenly rushed into Bayern's ribs and received the ball behind Kimmich without decisively adjusting his running belt. He swept the ball into the penalty area. Firmino in the middle penalty area immediately turned back and ran up quickly to get the ball. adjusted the ball to his dominant foot. Swinging his right foot towards the goal is an explosive shot. Just when Bayern fans' hearts stopped and people were already desperate. Their central defender Boateng rushed out like a savior and rushed towards the football. But the ball was very fast. Neuer moved quickly to prepare for the save. Boateng subconsciously raised his arm at this critical moment and blocked the football with his arm. The moment the football was blocked, he quickly retracted his arm and tried to pretend that nothing happened. But the fans, linesmen and referees all saw it clearly. The referee blew the whistle decisively. He raised his hand and pointed to the scoring point, and gave Liverpool a penalty without hesitation. He took out a yellow card and named Boateng. The hearts of Bayern fans were completely dead. Originally, Neuer might have saved the ball, but Boateng appeared like a savior and pulled them apart. All Bayern fans were disgusted. Bayern players and coaches were also in the coaching seats. No one ran to the referee and the fourth official to defend himself. The deliberate action of raising his hand was too obvious. Anyone who is not blind can see it. There is no excuse for the penalty. Boateng. You are a defender, not a goalkeeper. Defenders can use any part of their body to kick the ball, but they can't use their hands. Did you not understand the rules of football? Old coach Hanks was so angry that he yelled at Boateng and gave Boateng a common sense lesson. Penalty. Boateng blocked the ball with his hand. The referee decisively gave him a yellow card and awarded Liverpool a penalty. No dispute. Anyone who was not blind would not say that it was an accident when he took the ball just now. Let's see Liverpool's penalty next. Who should take the penalty? Liverpool has no first penalty taker. They all discuss and take the penalty. The attacking trident can all take penalty. Captain Henderson, Milner, and Wijnaldum have also taken penalty kicks. But the ones who took the most penalties are Salah and Mane. Huang Jianxiang expanded the previous penalty data of Liverpool. Wang Tao's eyes also turned. Teacher Huang, do you think Chen Mo will take the penalty? Huang Jianxiang laughed dumbly. He is a good choice. Neuer is a master at saving penalties, and Chen Mo has no experience in taking penalties before, so Neuer has no reference competence. Letting Chen Mo take the penalty can create an information gap for Neuer. It can also disrupt Neuer's mentality. The two were talking. Salah had already picked up the football and came to the penalty spot, and the others walked out of the penalty area. Chen Mo did not ask for the penalty. He had never taken a penalty, although he would practice it in training. But after all, it was not a formal game, and it was a bit unsafe. Salah was more stable. So he didn't join in the fun. Salah picked up the football and stood at the penalty spot. Salah has taken 6 penalties this season, all in the penalty area, and all 6 times were kicked to the right side of the goal. Old Huang saw Salah taking the penalty. Immediately introduced Salah's penalty data. However, at this time, Neuer in the penalty area on the court raised his finger and pointed at Chen Mo, who had walked out of the penalty area, and yelled at Salah. You let that guy take the penalty kick. Isn't that guy good at shooting? It's not difficult to save your penalty kick. I already know you will kick it on the right. Let him take it instead. I like challenging difficult things. This is a psychological warfare. Use language to interfere with the opponent. He told Salah that he guessed that he would kick it on the right, which would give Salah a hint that he couldn't kick it on the right, increasing his pressure. On the contrary, he could defend the left side more calmly. The purpose of asking Salah to replace Chen Mo to kick is naturally not to really let Chen Mo come. This is a kind of extreme psychological pressure. Use this to make Salah feel guilty and put absolute psychological pressure on him. It may even make Salah angry and unwilling. This will affect Salah's mentality even more. It may make him make mistakes in his penalty kick. The operation of the top goalkeeper is purposeful in every step and every word. But Salah did something that he didn't expect. No problem. I'll replace him. Pharaoh was stunned by Neuer's words at first and didn't think much about it. Instead, he naively thought that Neuer just wanted Chen Mo to take the penalty. Besides, there is no such thing as the first penalty taker in their team. There is no first penalty taker symbolizing the core position in the team. What's more, everyone knows it now. Chen Mo is the core. There is nothing wrong with the core taking the penalty. If it was someone else, Salah would really not accept it, but Chen Mo convinced him on the first day of joining. He may not take the captain seriously, but he is convinced by Chen Mo and has no intention of being dissatisfied. So when Neuer mentioned Chen Mo, Salah didn't think much about it and agreed directly. It was originally stressful to take a penalty when falling behind. Sulla was actually quite happy to let someone else take the penalty. It was only after giving the ball to Chen Mo, who looked confused, that Sulla reacted. He looked at Neuer fiercely, with more unkindness in his eyes. This guy is not a good person. Then he was happy. He had accidentally blamed Neuer. He asked you to kick. Just go and kick. Sulla also encouraged Chen Mo. That guy is playing dirty. I just realized it now, but it's okay, he's the one who's dumbfounded now. Mo. Go. Give him a hard time. In Chen Mo's eyes, Sulla's smile was very dark and gloating. You're not a good person either. Chen Mo added, holding some money, and walked towards the counting point. Now Neuer was completely dumbfounded. Damn it. Brother. I'm just talking. Are you serious? Chen Mo's penalty kick habit, he likes. Oh no. There's no information about him. This guy has never taken a penalty kick in an official match. Chen Mo smiled and placed the football. Looking up and seeing Neuer, his eyes couldn't control the panic, and he guessed what he was thinking at the moment. I suddenly felt a little bit of bad taste in my heart. It seems that it's not too bad to play the goalkeeper like a monkey. That. He raised his hand and signaled Neuer. Don't panic, I like to kick the spoon. One sentence. Neuer's eyes widened immediately. I'm so grateful to you. If you didn't tell me that you like to kick the spoon, I wouldn't have lied. Now I'm so panicked. You're ruining my moral integrity. Why are Liverpool full of these people? There are no good people there. Huh? Neuer messed up. He wanted to use Chen Mo to put pressure on Sulla. Who would have thought? Sulla really gave the penalty opportunity to Chen Mo. Huang Jianxiang couldn't help laughing 1.8 out. Wang Tao laughed even more directly. Sulla did a great job. Directly killed the general. You Neuer used Chen Mo to put pressure, so give the penalty to Chen Mo, and also use Chen Mo to put pressure on you. The game is to break your mentality. Duh. The referee blew the whistle and raised his hand to signal that it was time to start. Chen Mo stepped back several steps. He looked directly at Neuer. This made Neuer even more upset. Who is the good penalty taker? When taking a penalty kick, you stare at the goalkeeper's eyes. Aren't you afraid of a bad mentality? Obviously. He is the one with a bad mentality. Neuer was stared at by Chen Mo, and he couldn't help but panic. He kept repeating Chen Mo's words in his mind. I like to kick the spoon. 7. J7. Just at this moment, Chen Mo suddenly started to run up. He came to the football and swung his left foot directly, with a toe inward, obviously trying to kick the left corner. Neuer stared at Chen Mo's action and made a prediction in an instant. I'll go to your spoon. I'll jump to the left. While jumping to the left, he ran towards Chen Mo. But at the moment he jumped out. Chen Mo's foot also landed on the football, still with the toe inward. But it was not the inner instep that touched the ball. It was the outer instep that rubbed it directly under the football. The force of the ball being kicked up was not great, so the ball was not fast, and it did not form a very intense rotation. The football slowly drew a spoon-like arc in the air and slowly fell into the goal. Neuer's eyes widened. At this moment, his mentality completely collapsed. Whose good guy kicked the spoon with the outside of his foot? Can you still play it a little more? I said kicking the spoon is kicking the spoon. The moment the ball went in, Chen Mo laughed and said to Neuer, ran out of the penalty area and rushed to the corner area to celebrate. Neuer's negative emotion value plus 1444.